Hey, one Raz, I'm trying to post this. Okay, it's like Streamyard just stopped working.
Yeah, super weird, right?
It completely crashed. It said like internet, but restarting and doing everything, nothing worked. So one Raz is on there. I sent the new link to the chat of the other one. That's just weird. It's just like, okay, we'll try face, try this, try that. Nothing. All right, well, StreamYard literally crashed on me and would not boot back up,
Yeah, weird.
even when I exited out and back in.
Yeah, I did the same thing too, because I'm not exactly sure when the other stream crashed, so I don't know like how much
You
people
were
saw.
talking. You had your printer up there and you're talking about it, and then it just crashed.
Hmm.
All right, so let's see. All right, well that was super annoying.
So it looks like I finished because I'm looking at the replay right now. It looks like I finished talking about my printer, and then I was like, "Oh man, it looks like Aaron's gone. I don't know what to do."
Yeah. It's that. I
But
mean,
then
you
it
were
cut out.
talking about it. You were talking about it, and it just kind of glitched on my end. It said bad
Well,
internet connection, bad
so
internet
I
connection.
finished talking about it, but you cut out, but I was still on there for another couple minutes, and then I glitched out too.
Yeah, it I don't I that's just weird. Out of all the ones we've done, I mean, I've had it glitching, but I've not had it screw up so bad that
Yeah,
it
no, yeah,
literally won't let me back in it. Like, and yeah, and everyone said, "Oh, all I see is the little circle thing going." Like that's all I could see every time I try to pop it back up.
yeah. Well, let me share my screen,
Okay.
um, because I have one more thing that I wanted to show for cool prints, if I can.
Go right ahead. It's up.
And that is this thing, which is called a Bead Sprite printer. Have you seen this?
I did. I didn't actually like click into it. I saw it and kind of just scrolled past. I've been so busy.
So basically, it's a 3D printer that has a whole ton of these perler beads on top of it that was modified so that it could place beads in a specific pattern. It was modified with an Arduino board so that they could print these perler beads. And I wondered if you could get the heated bed hot enough to soften these beads so that they would actually melt together on the print bed.
Oh, I think you could because you usually just take an iron and put an iron over it. And that's what you do.
Yeah, but what temperature does an iron get to you? What temperature can you get a heated bed to?
I don't know.
I mean, most heated beds you can get up to like what, like 120 or something, 120 C.
Yeah, which is still
Which,
hot. That's hot.
I mean, that's pretty hot. But I guess what are perler beads made out of? What kind of plastic are they? What's their thermal? Whatever. So, anyways, I don't know. I thought that was really cool. And
That
then
is pretty cool.
looking at this, just looking at this little setup here, man, there's a lot of different colors. Like you could print like anything with that.
Mm-hmm.
and it's got all these little tubes heading down. That's really cool. I don't know. I thought that was really sweet. So, anyways, that's what I got for cool prints. What do you got?
Well, I got to pull everything back up. I mean, I restarted my computer. I'm like, my computer's crapping out on me. I'm just gonna throw the thing. It's just like pissing me off. And oh no, it's not my computer. It's Streamyard literally crashed on me. All right, let me find everything again.
Oh yeah, let me.
Oh yeah. And we had actually quite a bit of people. We had like 5 people in that was viewing.
Well, I know one of them was me. I don't know if you were watching it.
I mean, but still, I mean,
usually there's nobody. So, so yeah.
Well, we got one Raz back again. So
hey, one Raz.
It's like we lost everybody else.
Shout out to my main man, One Raz, who sticks with us even when we have technical difficulties.
Through thick and thin.
So subscribe to his channel. If he has one, I don't know. If
He does. He actually does. And he does 3D printing videos. So check him out.
Oh, I'm doing. That's it. I'm subscribing to his channel right now. I'm doing it for being a champion and sticking with us.
Even when you can't get coffee.
I don't drink coffee, so it doesn't matter to me.
Well, him, because he was asking if there's coffee.
Oh.
All right.
Subscribe.
There you go, One Raz. You got a new subscriber for your loyalty. All right. Let's see.
Ooh, look at One Raz production. These are like professional looking videos here, man.
Yes. All right. There's that. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to say yes on audio. Share. Yes, I got that. I don't care. So this is a cool print I saw. This is done with Hatchbox PLA. I was about to say Matter Hackers. Hatchbox PLA. And this is a Halloween costume for Warcraft. And this is the ice pick from Warcraft game. Fully 3D printed. And when I first saw it, I thought like only like maybe the handle was 3D printed. No, the entire thing has been 3D printed.
So is that 2 pieces put together, you think? That red piece? It's got to be.
Yes, I think this red piece is one big piece probably. And obviously there's your black handle that they slipped it on, which looks like it could be a flexible filament. And then you got these, but then you got the screws holding that together, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's right here on Hatchbox page for their Facebook. And it says at Happy 3D for, thanking them for sharing it. But I tried to go there. I can't find it. So, yeah. So there's that one. I don't need that open anymore, and you don't need to see that. So let me minimize that. So that's cool prints after forever of fixing everything. All right, looks like we got 3 viewing. One of those probably you, which is fine. I'm leaving chat from that off because I don't want to piss YouTube or StreamYard or my computer or internet, anything off.
Well, I got the stream pulled up on YouTube so I can monitor comments and stuff. So
yeah. All right. Let's see.
Although I realize that every time I look over at my other computer screen, it looks like I'm looking at you.
It's true. It's true. It does. It's like,
so I'm like reading the comments or whatever, and it looks like I'm really paying attention to your story. Which I am, but it's just
he's
really
he's enthused in what I'm saying. Just enthralled. That's what I'm saying. Well, that was just an annoying problem to have. Yeah.
Well, that was 47 minutes of our allotted time taken already. So what do we got next, Aaron?
All right, so now I need to finish pulling up the rest of my stuff. So we did the cool prints, and now we've got. What am I going to that for? Going to the wrong thing.
Ooh, got someone else in the chat here, buddy.
Who do we got? Jacob Carroll.
That's my brother, man.
Well, hello there, brother to Chris.
Shout out to my bro, who's the best younger brother in the whole world.
All right. I'm going to share my screen. Do you want to talk about the robot or the 3D printing first?
Let's start with the robot and do the bio stuff after.
Okay. All right, so here we go. All right, so this is iRobot's page. And what I normally do is I come on here to see when the Terra Mower is going to be available, because I got a big backyard and it would be nice to have it mow my yard. All I've ever seen is coming soon.
Okay, I got a question about that.
Yes.
Like, all right. I mean, I've seen Roombas. You know what I mean? How big is this mower compared to a Roomba?
Yeah, much bigger.
Oh, that doesn't look much bigger.
Well, let's see.
Then it obviously doesn't have a bag on it, so it can't bag up the clippings. This is like for mulching only, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. It mulches all of it down.
And then you got a really big backyard, though, man. How long is that thing gonna take, or does it matter? I guess
it doesn't matter. It mows in a grid pattern, and with it mowing in a grid pattern like this, so inside of it actually has a remote control, and that remote control you take and walk it around the perimeter. You just kind of steer it around the stuff it needs to go around. It's got sensors on it, and it's actually got these spikes. That had better pictures on this. They got spikes that you actually stick into the ground. Let's see.
I guess it wouldn't matter how big your backyard is, because it would just, even if it was just out there mowing like all day long.
Yeah, so it goes back and charges when it needs to.
It's not that easy.
No, don't need the ad. There you go.
iRobot has announced a brand new lawnmower, and this one really is amazing. It's a fully robotic, autonomous mower, and in today's video, we're going to take you through all the features and benefits that it has to offer. When you say the name iRobot, most people think of those vacuum cleaners that they've been making for almost 30 years.
Can you hear the audio?
It's hard to believe that iRobot's been around that long. But they've done more than vacuum cleaners. They've made things that clean your pool, clean your gutter, and a lot more. They even have made military robots. Now, recently, they've sold that division off so that they could focus on the home care market. And one area was missing for them, and that was lawn care or outside robots. So the iRobot Terra is a big deal because this is their first attempt to get into the outside space to make your yard care easier. Very little information has been released about the Terra, but I've done a lot of research, and I'm going to take you through the features, benefits, and a lot more. Let's start our reveal of the iRobot Terra by looking at the outside. Now, this lawnmower has a very cool look to it. It looks very space age, but also industrial and tough. And that makes sense because the body of this mower is made of ABS plastic, which is very durable, impact resistant, and should work very well for this.
Because if it was made out of PLA, it would melt outside anyway, so it needs to be ABS.
I don't know that it would melt outside. I think it would just become more brittle or something.
Well, deformed with the heat.
Well, I mean, how hot does it really get, though? I mean, I live in Arizona, and it gets to be. If I left it inside my car, it gets up to be pretty hot. But outside, I don't know. Maybe
In the sun. If it's setting in the sun, it will deform. But anyway,
this application. Now, I also hope you like gray in color because my sources say this is the only color this mower will come in. You'll never have to worry about plugging it in because it does that job itself. From the rear of the Terra, what we can see is a large carrying handle, and there's also an indent in the front, so you should be able to easily pick this mower up when you need to. And that flap on the top is actually a protective cover for the control panel. Let's take a look at that. Here's the Terra's control panel, and iRobot's done a really great job putting a lot of stuff in a small space. But some key things you want to be aware of is this piece right here, and this is your safety key. This is how you can turn the mower on and off, but you can remove it so that kids or unauthorized users can't activate the mower. And speaking of activation, the big mow button is obviously how you get all the action started and to turn the mower on. The next thing you'll see is this remote control. It doesn't quite look like one because it's recessed into that little compartment, but this remote is very cool. It's even got a joystick, which tells me that you'll be able to manually control the mower if you want to. Now, the kill switch is going to be handy because this thing's got blades, it's spinning, and it's driving around your yard.
and see, that's nice that it's got a kill switch, but the one thing he's not understanding is this will not be something you want to sit there and steer around your yard the entire time.
Yeah.
That will take forever. And you got the one joystick, so you're steering it side to side, all around. That gets tedious and hard to do. But it's going to be allowed for you to move it around. And yeah, it's got the little blade on there, so you can kind of start it, I guess. But it will be more likely to just drive it around. But having a kill switch is kind of nice. I think that's just like CNC. Having a kill switch on a CNC machine is kind of vital.
This is a BattleBot, man.
Pretty much.
Just get rid of that protective shroud and just go for it.
There you go.
A wire and it pulls the Terminator on you, you can hit that big red button, you'll stop the mower completely. And the last button that says home is actually to direct the mower to go back to its charging station if you want to override the automatic program. So this could come in handy as well. Robotic lawnmowers in the past really did a bad job cutting the lawn, and that's an important function, right? That's the only thing they're supposed to do. iRobot knew this, and what they did is they made a twin blade design, and these are made of stainless steel, and they look to me to be built to last. And I also like the fact that I see a quick release here that's going to allow you to easily change these blade units whenever you need to. So I would expect, based on this design, a very good cut.
And I like that quick release setup where you can pop that off and either replace this entire unit or just replace the blades on it that you need instead of having to fiddle with it right there.
The mower needs to know where it's mowing so it stays in its space and it does a complete job on your area. And they were able to accomplish that by coming up with a brand new way to communicate its location. And they did that via this large antenna. And this antenna provides ultra-wide bandwidth. And in fact, iRobot had to get special permission from the FCC to use that band for their lawnmower, but they were successful in doing that. This is where the Terra shines. To install this mower is very easy. You just put these wire-free beacons in your yard, and these will communicate with the mower. You do not need to bury a wire around your property, which is what you had to do with every other lawnmower that was in this category. You can see the navigation in action right here. iRobot's provided smartphone control. With this app, you'll be able to turn your mower on and off, set schedules, set times that you don't want the mower to run, and really get complete control over it. Our next feature is a big deal. They call it imprint, smart mapping, and straight line navigation. All that means is it's going to cut your grass just like you do with straight lines that look good. Old robotic mowers were never popular because they cut the lawn with a random pattern, leaving lines everywhere, and they just look like a mess. So this single feature is a big deal that really will give you a great cut. Another critical feature that iRobot has lots of experience with is making their machines so that they self-charge. So that means when your mower needs to be charged up, it'll return back to the outdoor charger that they provide so that it can get juiced back up so it can keep cutting the grass at the next scheduled interval. iRobot really did a great job with this mower. They came out with a ton of new features that address the real problems with robotic mowers, but I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to test this mower in person and really see if it's going to do the job that I think it will. But I hope this video was helpful to provide some of the key features, the benefits, and let you learn a little bit more about this mower. So if you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my
All right, so that is the Terra. So, which is obviously not what we were going to talk about, but I'm actually really excited about that. So whenever they actually put it out in the US, it'll be nice. But this is what we're going to talk about. This is Root, everybody. This is Root, the coding robot. Now, it is definitely for classrooms. Close that down. And let me pull this up.
So my brother's asking a question. He's asking if that lawnmower can cut like specific designs.
Probably.
I don't know. I mean, it's got that joystick.
It does it kind of like how you usually do it. So I mean, it could technically, I guess. It's worth a shot. All right. So, and this is Root. So let's meet Root, everybody.
Our world has become pretty much digital, and coding is really the logic of thinking about digital things.
Now this will give you a better understanding of Root than I can actually tell you about.
Think that coding is just the most natural thing to do. Root is really about programming intelligence. It's about programming behavior of the robot.
Coding is so unbelievably abstract from the get-go. It's an abstract language. It doesn't really have a relationship to the real world. It just doesn't matter enough at a young age.
By putting robots in front of kids, it brings coding to life.
The idea with Root is that we have a single robot that has a really interesting behavior. It can move on whiteboards and it can draw. But what makes it powerful is the different ways in which you can program it. A young kid understands consequences. If this, then this will happen. Now they get to program the consequences to their robot. They can think about what a machine is able to do. What did they...
So did you see the music notes there, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
So you can have it programmed for like music, like certain notes.
So is that like you can program it to play certain notes, or you can program it to do something when it hears a certain note?
I think it's so when a certain note is played, you can do it, or play it. But you can see like the easily functions of like if this, that, do this. So it makes it really easy because there's 3 categories of further coding for it.
What a machine is able to do. What did they tell the robot, and how did the robot misinterpret what they said? That part of our brain that's analytical and that thinks about processes is the one that Root is trying to engage.
You start with basic kinds of coding that has nothing to do with language, and I can build up in sequence to more and more abstract coding. So that scaffolding is so powerful, and it's not been done before.
We have a vision to fill every classroom in the world with a robot. One of the unique things about Root is that the infrastructure already exists. The whiteboards are already in the classroom. The tablets and apps, that ecosystem is already in most schools. So with Root, really, the barrier to entry from a cost perspective is the cost of a textbook. What we're essentially doing is we're creating a robot that just works right out of the box, as simple to use as a tablet or app that the kids will love, that the teachers will love.
I don't know about cost of a textbook. I mean, textbooks are pretty expensive, but schools get huge discounts. You're looking at $75 a pop.
That
Yeah.
can reach any different grade level.
These robots are definitely not $75.
All the way up to-
No, they're $200.
By having different kinds of programming languages, you can really target the information processing that's possible at different stages. Not only just what excites them, but what makes a kid that age powerful.
Root and that ecosystem has the chance to embed in it fundamental flexibility and adaptability such that you really could meet each kid where they're at and give them a kind of experience that gives them the best shot of falling in love with coding.
We have the right robot hardware and the right robot software to be a disruptive technology in education.
The more kids we have who grow up thinking, oh, I could code, that's not a problem. That's not what computer scientists do. That's what everybody does. That's where we want to arrive at.
All right, so I'm just going to minimize this right now. So obviously you can run multiple ones simultaneously. So they went side by side, those last two ones, and they're doing that design on there. So, which is pretty cool. The obviously downside is it's $200 for the robot. And it works on whiteboards. I mean, you could probably do it on different surfaces, but to have it do the drawing, you want a dry erase thing for it to draw on, because it's got magnets and it does stick to the whiteboards themselves.
So $200 isn't that much money for something that's going to be used in a school like that. But I guess really the cost comes into they're marketing it towards schools, but a school's not going to be able to buy just one and expect to have some sort of meaningful lesson behind it. I mean, I have 120 students in my class, you know? If I'm going to have 120 students and I'm going to teach them about programming, I'm going to need, you know,
at least
minimum
50.
Yeah. Because what you're not going to want more than 3. I mean, even at 50, that's like 3 kids per robot.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was estimating, 3 kids per robot, which is good, because then you can get them collaborating together to work on this problem.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the goal would be to get as close to a 1-to-1 ratio as possible, right?
Yeah, and that's fairly close. I mean, so your brother says he loves the idea of this. The way kids are growing up, this is perfect thing to keep their attention. Yeah, I agree. It is a great way to keep their attention.
Everything nowadays has to be flashy and electronic. I mean, you can't teach math the way that you could, 20 years ago. When I was in school learning math, it was just flashcards and worksheets. And if you do that in the math class now, the kids are just bored out of their minds. They have to have that constant electronic blast in their face. Otherwise, they just don't pay attention.
Yep. So, but yeah, that's Root. The lights on it change color. The white on Root.
Sorry.
The white that's on top of Root, you can actually draw on that as well. Obviously, you saw the googly eyes on it that people stuck on them. But you can have it do multiple different things. It is pretty cool. I would totally love to get one and try it out. Obviously, this guy over here, if iRobot's listening, he could use at least one to try to help teach kids coding, because he does that.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's what I do for a living. I teach about robots. So iRobot, if you're paying attention, all I have is Lego robots, and it'd be great to have an alternative. If you feel that yours is better,
And
I'd be
nice
willing
thing is,
for you to make a video about it if you want.
Yeah. So just send one to each of us. We
Jacob's
totally
got
do
a
it.
solution. Jacob's got a solution to getting kids more interested. That's all you got to do, man.
No,
That's what you got to do.
for the Fortnite characters.
Fortnite.
You've still not played it.
I played it one time. Would you like to hear the story?
Yes.
So I'm sitting there in my classroom, and all these kids talking about Fortnite. I teach 7th and 8th graders, so that's like their obsession, right?
Yep.
So this was maybe 2 years ago. There's like Fortnite, and I'm like, what are you even talking? What is Fortnite? And he was telling me, I was in this fight, and I was shooting this guy, and he's shooting back at me, and I was just spamming B. And I understood from his conversation that when you press B, it builds a wall in front of you. So like I'm thinking B is like build or whatever. So it builds a wall in front of you, and then when they're shooting at you, they can't hit you because there's a wall there they have to break through or whatever. So it's like B. Anyways, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I like to play video games. I don't have enough time to play really, but I got a couple minutes. So I downloaded Fortnite on my computer, and I'm learning how all the controls and stuff, because there's no instructions at all for this game. You just have to figure it out what each button does. And so I'm trying to figure out how it works, and I'm moving around or whatever, and I get this confrontation, and this guy starts shooting at me, and I'm like running and jumping, and then I remembered, that student that's like B. So I push B on the keyboard, and I'm like just spamming B, like I'm gonna just do this. So I push B, which I thought meant build, and it does on the Xbox, but on a computer, B stands for brag, or boast. So basically, I'm sitting there like, and all of a sudden, my guy just starts like dancing, and then I just die like out of nowhere. And so like, ever since that experience with Fortnite, I was like, this game's dumb. So this guy comes up, like just imagine you're playing, and you come over and you start shooting this guy, and I didn't even have a weapon yet. Like I had just landed, and I didn't even have a weapon. And so I was like cutting down trees and stuff, and then I'm like, and then all of a sudden the guy just starts dancing. Like just imagine, and then I just died. It was the worst experience I've ever had with a video game, and I decided that I didn't want to play that game anymore. So
That's funny. Cosmic Dumpster says,
yeah, that's probably the last time I played a video game. Honestly, it's sad. I love to play video games. I just don't have time.
Oh, I don't have time either. I've got 0 time.
We figured out what we're gonna get my son for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
We're gonna get him. There's a new Luigi's Mansion coming out.
nice.
Which I don't know if you ever played Luigi's Mansion, but one of my favorite games. What a cool game! Like, just a great concept. Just a great concept. Oh,
Nice.
Cosmic Dumpster, congratulations on your victory royale, man. Good job. I'm proud of you.
We're too old for that, apparently. Oh. All right. So the next subject we're going to dive into is 3D printed heart valve, which ties into somewhat of the last week's topic.
Right.
So, here we go. That was for you, Chris.
Thanks, man.
All right.
I
So
always appreciate sound effects,
oh, Oh no! 3D printing a human heart valve. This has got no sound, so
Are you gonna put some links to these videos or something so you don't get like copyright struck or something
I have links in the description.
to these videos?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, to those other videos, I'll have to toss those in for the ones I did on YouTube. But this one I've actually got in the description, which I had to copy and paste again to do so.
Carnegie Mellon. I wonder how durable that is.
Hard telling.
I mean, it's collagen, but that's what they were talking about last week. If you guys didn't see, last week we were talking about some 3D printing news stories. It's called The Condenser. It's a segment we do where we talk about the biggest 3D printing stories on the news from the past week or whatever. And we talked about something called Lulz Bio, which is a company started by Lulzbot, that like a division of Lulzbot that focuses on bio 3D printing, where they 3D print with stem cells and collagen, and they do like an algal gel, which is what they use for like petri dishes and stuff for doing bacterial cultures. So they're 3D printing with this bio material and potentially being able to 3D print like real human body parts. So this 3D printed heart valve is really interesting, but I wonder how durable it would be, because when you're talking about something on a cellular level, like a molecular level like that, I mean, there's no way, even coming out of a little teeny tiny syringe, there's no way that it doesn't have little gaps and holes in it.
Little layer lines that you could possibly.
Yeah, I mean, the layer lines would be almost imperceptible to us, but if you looked at it at a microscope, I bet it just looks like Swiss cheese. So I wonder how durable it is, how well it's able to, function. If you could actually install something like this heart valve in like a human being. I know that I saw they've 3D printed like an ear or something like that has like the actual veins and capillaries and stuff built into it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just skeptical about the actual functionality at this stage of the game.
Oh yeah, I mean, and it's just the valve itself. So, and the valve is actually the exact size that it's supposed to be. So, I mean, about the size of a $50, it looked like. Yes, and $50 for you youngins out there is a 50-cent piece.
I mean, they understand money, Aaron.
Well, they're young, so who knows if they know what a 50-cent piece is anyway.
Oh, do you know who Amy Dede is?
Who?
Amy Double D.
No.
She does like a lot of cosplay and stuff. And so she does a lot of 3D printing. She's on Twitter a lot, but she does a lot of 3D printing with like cosplay. She 3D prints on like fabrics and stuff like that. But one thing that she did recently was she owns a Tesla, and there's like a little chip that's in the Tesla that if you're within a certain radius of the car, you can unlock the door and start it, whatever. She took that chip and she actually had it surgically implanted in her hand, which sounds really gross and slightly unsanitary. But if you completely disregard that weird grossness aspect of it, she has it programmed to do all kinds of stuff. So she doesn't need a key at all. She just walks up to her car and can just get in. She walks up to her door, which has a lock mechanism on it that can read that chip, and she just walks up to her door, pushes a button, and it opens the door for her. And she doesn't need a key anywhere she goes. And I think her thought is like, in the future, this is going to be so commonplace. Everyone's going to have that. When you go buy a car, they're going to just give you a shot on the way out, and that's it. Then you can use the car anywhere you go.
Yeah. Your brother has a a good statement.
Wonder how this would be affected by high blood pressure. Anything about 90 diastolic leak in a normal heart. So, for my brother is he's a certified paramedic. So he's a lot smarter with medical stuff than I am. So maybe he would be a better authority on some of this than I would be. But that's a good question. You know, when you're looking at something being able to hold up under pressure, especially when, like I said, you look at it at a molecular level, at a small cellular level, you're gonna see gaps and holes and cracks in it. It looks good from the wide range, like we're looking at it, but you know, are those cells able to stack in there as precise as your human body has? I don't know.
Yeah, whenever you organically print the layer lines, are they going to adhere to each other? Like if you get a scab and the scab forms on top and then you get your skin forming underneath there, your new skin, is it going to do like that? Is it going to just like bond to itself and not allow anything through?
I think the key to that though is the way that it's done. So we're talking about additive manufacturing where you have a needle that comes down and actually prints that line. Whereas the way your skin heals is through cellular division. You're taking something that's already there and it grows and splits and grows and splits and grows and splits.
Oh, yes. So, well, that's my thing. Because obviously it's added, but being that they're the same cells, are they going to kind of bond together like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like it does for a scab?
It's a good question, man. I don't know. So like when I watched, Joel Telling did a video on this, right? Did you watch that? So Joel Telling, aka the 3D printing nerd, he did a video on this a couple of weeks ago where he actually visited Lowell's bio, and they 3D printed like it was a vein with like some little let's see here, not capillaries. What are the smaller things? There's vein, and then there's smaller things, and then the capillaries like at the very end. But it had those in this like little collagen tube that was created, and he took some red dye with a syringe and injected it into the tube, and you could see it flow through the vein, but you could also see it kind of leaking out in places. And so
well, you know who Maker's Muse is, Angus.
Yeah.
He did a video on a water pump, 3D printed water pump. And this water pump leaked. Because you have the lines and everything's not perfect in it. So,
right.
Just like the pressure for the heart valve, who knows if it would leak, how long it would hold up for. So, but yeah, so that's those there. So the 3D printed heart, and I've got links in the description down below for this and for the root bot from iRobot. So you guys can kind of dive into that a little more if you want to. Here. I mean, it's an interesting read. Would have done that earlier if Streamyard did not give me the finger and glitch out and lock me out of my broadcast that I was doing.
We should post something on Twitter. Hey, StreamYard, what the crap, dude?
Well, I posted on Twitter, said StreamYard crashed on me, and here's the new link to the stream pretty much. Oh, thanks for putting that in there. I was thinking about that.
Well, I just thought if people wanted to
check it out,
I mean, it was a cool video. It's super cool process the way it works. I can't even imagine how much it would cost for them to 3D print with actual stem cells. But yeah, it's got to be really expensive.
I bet it really is. So, well, that is it for this episode of the AC Show, everybody. We appreciate you joining, and One Raz, appreciate you hanging in there for our wonderful debacle we had with StreamYard locking me out and not loading back up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still don't know what the heck happened there. I need to get in there because I think it still has that as a live stream going. We try to get in there and end that stream as well.
I'll look because I'm not sure. I don't think it's still going. Maybe.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it says it's still going. It says it's still live. So I'll need to jump in that and end that fairly soon.
Oh yeah, live now.
Yeah. Zero watching because everyone's watching this one.
Right.
I will try to go over and record and put them both together. And that way there's a more combined video.
Good luck.
Yeah, it's not going to be anything really sophisticated. It's just going to be kind of recorded in, toss it. There we go. Done with it.
Oof. Cosmic Dumpster, you are asking the hard-hitting questions today, huh? Why haven't you 3D printed a Rube Goldberg machine yet? Well, it's in the works. Last year, I did a Cub Scout day camp on moving machines, and parts of it I 3D printed. My goal is to 3D print one of every type of simple machine and then put them all together into one Rube Goldberg machine, which I think would be pretty sweet. It's a video that I've had the idea for, but I just haven't had time to do it yet because I don't like copying other people's stuff. I always print my own stuff, because if you're a fan of the show, you know I'm a terrible designer. Then we don't got our grease so readily there. It's something that's going to just take some time. That's all I got.
We got some stuff in the works that he's gonna be working on modeling more often. But that's let's go back and watch last week's episode. We talk about part of that kind of planning. So we're gonna get that in the works with 3D printing professor, and maybe we can get Joel telling in on it, and Wellbot and a bunch of other people just kind of collaborate and just kind of do a whole thing on that. So
Wellbot is a great designer.
Oh yes, I know.
So I mean that would be excellent. And I actually learned how to use Fusion 360 from Joel Telling.
Oh, there you go.
From fidget spinner videos, way back when those were a thing. That's the first thing that I ever designed myself was a fidget spinner, because I actually, you know what? Speaking of cool prints, you ready? This right here, I can't believe I still have this in the drawer. This is the first thing that I ever designed myself. It's a fidget spinner that the little bearings just fit perfectly in here. This is the first thing I ever designed on my own, and I did it all with Joel Telling's video. So
there you go. I've never done one, so
you're lucky. Now I'm playing with it, even though there's no bearings in it. I'm still playing with it.
Like it spins even with no bearings. Well,
did you ever see that meme that was like the ruler that's like balanced on a pencil and spin it around, and it's like the OG fidget spinner?
I don't. Yes, I did.
So,
I had to think about it.
And that's what I played with when I was a kid. I can tell you that much.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. If you haven't already, subscribe to this guy over here, and we will be next week live on his channel. Same time, same place, same bad dad jokes, which I didn't have time for today. So
Well, and this week I've got some really interesting things that I'll be printing. So hopefully next week's cool prints will have some more cool stuff for you guys.
All right. I got a dad joke to close the show. You ready for it?
I'm all ready.
Chris, why don't I trust stairs?
Why don't you trust stairs?
They're always up to something.
Not if they go down to the basement.
But they always lead up.
That's kind of true. All right. All right, I'm okay with that.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
See ya.